Does the APC still have any message that connects with the ordinary Nigerians? And more importantly, what can the ruling party point to today that would convince citizens to give Asuwaju their votes again in 2027? Remember 2015? APC rose to power on a wave of hope, promising security, jobs, and a ruthless war on corruption. Nigerians bought into that dream. But fast forward to today, insecurity lingers, poverty has deepened, and the fight against corruption seems lost in accusations of nepotism and favoritism. Yes, Boko Haram was pushed back and some would say decimated in the northeast under Buhari, but whatever gains made against that terror group has given birth to security fault lines that have devastated the communities across the north. And on the economy, many argue that APC policies have made hardship even worse. Politically speaking, critics like Dr. Benga Olawepo Hashim don't even see the APC as a real party anymore, calling it quote-unquote a cult, not a political party, because to him, the party is devoid of ideology, internal democracy, and a coherent vision for Nigeria's future. So the big question, the million-dollar question is, with all this baggage, does APC have any convincing story left to tell Nigerians, or are they running on empty ahead of 2027? Don't forget to hit the subscribe button on the YouTube channel, which is PAPShow NG, so you never miss an episode. I am Umar Isa Dandago, and this is the PAPShow. Welcome back. To help us unpack these issues, I am joined by a man who once sat where I sit now, questioning those in power, even on international platforms like the BBC. Today, however, he speaks for power itself. Mal Bala Ibrahim is the National Publicity Director of the ruling APC. He insists, well, amazingly, that just like the ordinary citizens, they themselves have not been spared, rather, from the country's economic hardship. Well, a lot of people would find this laughable, if not controversial. Thank you so much, Mal Bala Ibrahim. It's a pleasure to host you, to have you on the PAPShow.
It's my pleasure being here, Umar. It's always a pleasure, delight being with you.
Oh, mashallah. Thank you so much. Well, yeah. I'm smiling simply because the first time I had the pleasure of interviewing you back in Kano was late 2024, both in Hausa and in English. And fast forward 8 months later, a lot of people will say not much has changed in terms of the APC's rule in the country. I don't know whether you still have that vision, that idea of you people in the corridor of power still also suffering the same hardship that we, the ordinary people, are suffering. Is it still the same thing?
Well, you see, with regards the performance of a government, if viewed through the prism of the party that puts the government in power, sometimes things are looked into in a way and manner that makes the viewer or listener think the person speaking is actually speaking for the government. It's okay if we talk about the performance of the government, but it is more appropriate if we talk about the performance of the party that puts the government in power.
Okay.
The duty of the party is to formulate policies, guide, and do clinic on the promises made to the people. How far the government is fulfilling those promises. It is the duty of the party to look at those things and see to it that amendments are made in such a way that the promised dividends, democratic dividends, are delivered to the people. That is where the responsibility of the party ends.
Meaning the party is ahead of the leader, is above the leader, the president in this case.
Yes, theoretically, the leader of the party is supposed to be ahead of the president because the president is answerable to the party. The party provided him with the platform under which he contested and won. So he is supposed to be accountable to the party. But then the party in its wisdom has also made a provision that makes the president the leader of the party in such a way that it's not to say he is above the organogram arrangement of the party. He is not over and above the chairman of the party. Okay. But courtesy and respect for position makes it such that the party accords the president a lot of respect, recognition, as a result of which the president can be seen as the overall leader of the party.
Okay, simply because in the case of Tinubu, he has more money, more influence, more power than the party leadership.
No, Tinubu cannot, it's not a question of money. It can be a question of influence and position. Of course, in the arrangement of democracy, you have a tripod standing, where you have the executive, the legislature, and the judiciary. But because the executive is the executing arm of the government, it tends to have more control, but each arm is independent. Likewise, the position of the party. The party is supposed to be independent of the government. It does not interfere in the affairs of the government, but the government is made to be answerable to the party such that the party can invite elected officials and appointees of the government to come and answer questions with regards their own performance in office.
Does that happen?
It does happen regularly.
Is the president answerable to the party?
He is answerable to the party.
Have you ever called him to question him on the trajectory of the country that his government is putting the country on?
You see, like I said, out of respect, the party does not want to be seen as bullying its leaders. The party accords the president a lot of respect because when you become a president of a country, you are supposed to be elevated and put over and above the conventional system of protocol. So much so that it will be unfair, disrespectful for you to be seen as being called too often to report to the office of the party to answer questions with regards your performance in office. That is not to say the party cannot, in its wisdom, visit the office of the president and subject him to certain tests or arrange a meeting, a clinic, where it does either a midterm or a periodic assessment of its performance. And in that clinic, questions can be asked with all respect as to how and why things are done this way. They may be running contrary to our promises, or they may not necessarily be part of the things that we made promise to the people. And this kind of things happen from time to time. As a matter of fact, not too long ago, there was such a midterm clinic, at the end of which a vote of confidence was passed on the president. And the party went ahead to say, in the event that the president desires to contest come 2027, as things stand today, the party will not hesitate in supporting him to be. That was what was misconstrued by some people as saying the party had already given the ticket to the president for 2027. That is not what happened.
So it's a declaration of what? Interests in allowing the president to run for the second term in 2027?
It's a vote of confidence based on the performance of the president as of that material time. That so far so good, he is doing as promised by the party. And the party is so happy that it feels if at this material time primaries or convention were to be held and the president indicates interest to contest, the party will endorse him. But we have not gotten there because it's just halfway.
Okay.
We have to get to the bridge before we start thinking of crossing.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, in this case, some would disagree with you by saying simply that maybe your party has decided to give him the green light to contest in 2027 when the time comes, and to say if he is interested, while we know a lot of people would say he is interested, simply because you have no option but him, no any other option but him. And his critics would say it's because of his quote-unquote authoritarian tendencies. That's what we're going to discuss now. The allegations of authoritarianism in his government. I will put you this question. First of all, the party APC is accused of authoritarianism. And as one opposition figure called Dr. Benga Olawepo Hashim said, APC functions more like an authoritarian movement than a democratic platform. Now, does he have a point?
He doesn't.
Why?
Because I cannot remember, I haven't seen, and he cannot pinpoint any action taken by the party that does not conform with the democratic tenets or the provision for competitive arrangement. There has not been anything like that done by the APC as a party.
Okay, debunked. Okay. He further continues to say, in the APC, 1 or 2 individuals hand down instructions for everyone to obey like zombies. This is not a political party, it's a cult. That's what he says. Hearing this, doesn't it worry you? Has the APC ever looked inward?
He has to bring, when you make an allegation, you must substantiate it. He can say, look, so and so was done at variance with constitutional or democratic provisions. So and so was done in a way and manner that is dictatorial or against the principles of competition or that which ought to be done under a competitive arrangement. There has not been anything that has been done by the party, to the best of my knowledge, that is in contravention of democratic provisions. There hasn't been anything that I can say has been done.
What about Tinubu? Has he not ever done anything that appears to be dictatorial, authoritarian, unilateral?
You see, there is a difference, a distinction between doing something and being seen to have done it in the way and manner perceived, and doing something in a way and manner that is perceived by someone who is making accusation. You see, it's all a question of perspective. There is a cup of water before me now. This cup of water was placed by someone. To the person who placed this cup of water, he can say the cup is half full. Another person who may want to look at it differently may say the cup is half empty. It's a question of perspective, how you view it. None of them is wrong, but you have to provide proof to show that half full is different from half empty. It depends on how you see what Tinubu has done, whether he has done it according to the democratic provision or democratic ethic, or he has done it dictatorially.
Which means some people like Dr. Benga, who view Tinubu's actions as dictatorial, as authoritarian, are right, because given the analogy you have given, they are also right.
That is why I say you have to submit to his own perspective of looking at things. Then ask, let him provide the reasons why he said this cup is half empty. Then I will convince him, that no, the cup is not half empty. It is rather half full.
In this case, Tinubu to you is not authoritarian. You're looking for reasons to agree, to believe that he's authoritarian. Reasons, right? We have them.
Yes.
We have them here.
Yes. The reasons are what I want.
Let's take a look at the reasons. A Lagos-based lawyer, barrister Olalekan F. Ojo, was interviewed by the Independent Sunday News platform and asked if Tinubu's style of leadership is autocratic. He said, and I quote, autocracy manifests in the centralization of power, suppression of opposition, and disregard for institutions. while he continues to say, while I will hesitate to categorically brand President Tinubu an autocrat, it is fair to say that some of his policies and actions suggest an authoritarian tilt. For example, the unilateral removal of fuel subsidy without adequate consultation, the centralization of certain fiscal controls, and the growing dominance of party loyalty over merit in appointments are troubling signals. And quote, these examples are more than enough to justify authoritarianism in Tinubu's leadership.
No.
No.
Yes. You see, the duty of the executive is to execute that which probably has been decided, deliberated, discussed, and submitted for his execution. The issue of fuel subsidy, if we will start with it,
yes,
was not the initiative of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. That decision, if you check the budget that precedes his coming, that decision for the removal of fuel subsidy was taken, and in fact, fuel subsidy is not in that budget, which means Tinubu only executed that which was already agreed upon by the regime of his predecessor, Muhammadu Buhari, may his soul rest in peace. He just needs to check the budget of 2023, 2022, 2023. You will see that fuel subsidy was removed. Okay. So Tinubu simply made the pronouncement of executing that which he inherited, which was not formally announced by his predecessor. That is all.
Something that the citizens are averse to, are opposed to, and he unilaterally did it.
The citizens have representatives in the National Assembly. There is no way you can collate and collect the views and opinions of all the citizens of a 240 million people country. You have to do that either via a referendum or via a vote or via their own representatives.
Okay.
These representatives of the people are in the National Assembly. It is these members of the National Assembly that deliberated on the issue of subsidy, remove the subsidy, and pass it on for the president to pronounce. And the president made that pronouncement based on the recommendation of the representatives of the people.
But a few minutes before making that pronouncement, he was not the president of Nigeria.
Certainly.
Why did he do that? What kind of consultation did he have prior to that pronouncement? Let him become the president first, some would say, before making that.
Okay. You become the president of a country, not just by presiding at a meeting on behalf of the country. You become a president of the country the minute you take oath of office, oath of allegiance. Once you take that oath, you have assumed duty and you can hit the ground running immediately. And to show people that he has come with a will to work with the opinion of the people, he made that announcement. And let me tell you also how power is taken and how power is run. You see, you don't just become the president of a country the minute the Electoral Commission announces you as the one that has won the election. No, there is a transitional period between the time that you are declared the winner and the time that you are sworn in. Within that period, there is a period of interaction, a handing over process that is done to make you gradually go into that office. You will be briefed, you will be informed, you will be adequately educated on what to expect and when to expect it and how to do it. There is a team of technocrats that will advise you on how to do things. Now, all these things must have been tabled before Tinubu. All these things must have been explained to him. All these things are the kind of information he needs to hit the ground running.
And they told him to remove the subsidy.
The subsidy has already been removed, like I said, by the National Assembly, which was in power as of the time he was sworn in. So it has already been incorporated in the budget. His own is just to tell the world that he has already transited. He is already executing that which his predecessor has been doing.
Okay.
So he made the announcement. It's not that it is going to be done later. It has already been done. Okay. That is how the transition to power is done.
Are you a fan of Donald Trump?
I wouldn't say so.
Okay.
I wouldn't say so.
But then there's a similarity between Donald Trump and Bola Tinubu.
Well, in the sense that they are all human beings, and I think they all have 2 legs, 2 hands, and 1 head.
In terms of presidency, Donald Trump is a fan of executive orders, taking unilateral decisions, and Tinubu has done that, according to this lawyer.
You see,
and evidence are there.
When you say executive, executive, if you go by the definition of executive, is a person or an office that gives you the leeway to do a lot of things. Yes, that is why he said executive.
Including being an authoritarian.
No. But you see, in the execution of your executive powers, you can be seen to be authoritarian. Because, you see, you have the powers within the provision of the law to do certain things that cannot be questioned. That is why you are an executive. You have the power to veto certain things. Now, you can swing the sword.
And is that democratic?
It is democratic. Democracy has given.
Democratically.
It is. You see, before it gets to you executing, it must have been deliberated. And it is deliberated by that arm of the law or the system that debates issues. That is where the actual democracy is played.
Okay.
Once it comes to you, you can decide to consent to do it or refuse. That is why you are executive.
Okay.
If you refuse to do it, it has to go back to that deliberating arm to further deliberate and see why you exercise that executive power.
Okay.
If that arm still feels that thing must be done, then it can veto you by a vote, and you must do it.
Okay, clear. Is Tinubu authoritarian?
Authoritarian in what sense? Authoritarian in the execution of his family or homely
as the president.
Affair, as the president of Nigeria. Is not authoritarian.
Okay, I'll put you this. I'm sure you. Okay, he's a Democrat. I'm sure you respect the person whose opinion I'm going to put to you. His name is Bode George. He is the chieftain of the PDP. He has also warned that under APC, Nigeria is quote unquote veering towards authoritarian rule and quote unquote again staggering dangerously on the path of self-destruction. Citing Rivers State emergency rule crisis as an example. Okay, doesn't that raise serious alarm for democracy under your party? I mean, these are serious, real-life examples, serious things to consider.
Well, for starters, Bode George is an ex-military man.
Okay.
His background is military. So by training, by culture, by orientation, by upbringing, he is a dictator. A dictator is one who does not work with the constitution.
Okay.
The first duty of a military man is trained to destroy. And whenever the military comes to power, the first thing they do is to suspend the constitution. So I will not work with the opinion of someone who was trained to destroy, someone who is trained to disrespect the constitution. And he has done so in the past.
Okay.
Someone who does not believe in the rule of law, someone who does not believe in the ballot but the bullet, someone who was not trained to submit to the superiority of democratic institutions is not the kind of person whose view about someone that is a Democrat will shake me. It will not shake me.
Some would say his point of view should be taken seriously simply because he's an expert. He knows what you're talking about. He knows the dictatorship. He knows bullets. He knows violence. He knows destruction. He knows all those things, which means if he is assessing, if he's saying this, it could amount to an expert assessment of what the country is going through and where it's going to.
Yes, I know. He knows. He was trained and he used it. He has done it. And now for him to come and say someone is doing it, and we know that person has not undergone similar training with him, and he does not have any antecedent to the effect of suspending the constitution, but Bode George had antecedent of conniving with his colleagues in uniform to suspend Nigeria's constitution and to force his way into power in Nigeria.
You are twisting the narrative. His opinion should be taken seriously because he's an expert in this field.
But I will not take his opinion seriously if he brands someone as behaving like him, who had the training to disrespect the rule of law. I will not take this thing. But if it were the reverse, if it was Tinubu, who is all along a Democrat, that accused Bode George of dictatorship, because Tinubu does not have the antecedent of dictatorship, I will take Tinubu's comment seriously. But the reverse is not what I will take seriously.
Another serious example is the allegation of favoring Lagos State over even some southwest states, let alone the northern states. Your government is accused of favoring Lagos at the expense of the rest of Nigeria, with nobody able to challenge him because of his strongman style. Is Tinubu that we used to know before different from the one that we see right now?
You see, not too long ago, at the midterm clinic that was carried out by the APC to review and make assessments on the performance of the government 2 years into office, the Minister of Works was called upon to brief the nation on the various projects that were executed in the 2 years in office. And he gave a long shopping list of things that have been done, and they are spread. Nothing was shown as being deliberately biased against other parts of the country. The only thing, you see, the mischief makers try to do is to highlight certain projects and downplay other projects. In trying to play mischief, they will probably point at road construction as being done in a segment of the country or a section of the country or a region, but they will not say there is a corresponding health infrastructure that have been done in other parts of the country, to the detriment of this area that had road infrastructure. They don't have those health infrastructure, but they have road infrastructure. You see, in budgeting or in planning, everyone comes with his request, and these requests are put in order of priority. What may be a priority to you may not necessarily be a priority to me. To me, for instance, coming from, let's say, Kano, where there is the problem of Western education backwardness, priority to me may be in the construction of primary schools, in refurbishing of secondary schools, in the establishment of tertiary institutions to bridge the gap.
But primary and secondary are the responsibility of the state government.
I only say this, and these are just examples. Even in the secondary and in the primary, you still have, you want to rhyme with the universal basic education system, right? There has to be a symbiotic arrangement,
between the state and the federal,
and even foreign donors. So you come in, everyone will bring in his own contribution, and then you align them.
So the point is, what has Kano achieved? What has Kano gotten from your government?
Kano has gotten a lot, which Lagos State, for instance, they don't have. My sitting here as a spokesman of the party may not give me the advantage of capturing all that has been done by the executive to Kano State. I may not have, or I will not certainly have this information ready-made on my palm. But definitely Kano has gotten a lot from the federal government by way of education. I know, for instance, Bayero University, Kano, where Naseni, which is an agency of the federal government, has come in with a multi-billion naira intervention that is undergoing execution right now. I visited the site.
Okay.
Such intervention has not been done to Lagos State University, for instance.
Okay.
But nobody is talking about that. Rather, what they are talking about is Calabar Coastal Highway,
the
Third Mainland Bridge,
renovation of the airport, Lagos.
The renovation of airport. You understand?
Mm-hmm.
That is the priority request of Lagos State.
Okay. What,
Kano
there's also
State,
airport in Kano.
But that may not necessarily be the, probably Kano is interested in irrigation. Okay. And a lot is being done on irrigation that is downplayed. Nobody is talking about that. So probably the request of Kano is for dams to be built. And now dams are being built in Kano South. Okay. Nobody is talking about.
And when you go to Kano for a visit and you see a lot of great things achieved in the state, would you say it's as a result of your intervention or the hard work of the state governor, Abakabir Yusuf?
You see, there are demarcations of responsibilities. That which is supposed to be done by the state government is being done by the state government.
And would you laud him? Would you applaud him?
We belong to different parties.
Okay.
But
you are from Kano and you visit Kano regularly?
Yes, I
and
do.
You see the development there?
You see, I wouldn't want to sit here and be praising a governor that does not belong to my party.
Even if he's doing the right thing?
No, he cannot be doing the right thing by taking money from us because we give him the money.
Okay.
We give him the money. He ought to execute the blueprint as if he is doing it by the power of his party, not doing it by the power of our party.
Okay.
What he is doing now is actually the blueprint of the APC which he inherited.
Okay.
And he is executing those projects that we started. But the credit goes to him rather because he is the person at the helm of affairs right now.
You've got it right. That's amazing. Okay, we're going on a short break. And indeed, we are going to talk about a lot of things, including some of the things that are happening in the country and how the APC, your party, is planning on convincing the citizens to vote for President Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu come 2027. Let's go on a short break. When we come back, the conversation continues.
Take a seat on the Political Advantage platform for real conversations about Nigeria by Nigerians. Follow our live stream across these channels and learn how it all affects you. Every Sunday, you have a chance to stay ahead by staying engaged and informed. Tune in to the Political Advantage platform to share in real conversations that matter to you.
Welcome back. This is the PAPShow with me, Umar Isa Dandago, and my guest tonight is Mal Bala Ibrahim, APC Director of National Publicity. And don't forget to subscribe, like, and share with everyone you can. Thank you very much indeed, Mal Bala Ibrahim.
Thank you very much, Umar.
It's been an interesting debate, and I'm sure you were once in this position, and I'm sure you did a lot of interviews with politicians, and that's how you used to grill them, right?
Well, maybe not as tough as you are grilling me now. But that's the job.
I'm a big fan of the BBC, and Hard Talk is one program that you know very well, and you contributed to on the BBC. And this is our job. So now, APC's strategic communication. We'll start with security. Now, looking at all the problems bedeviling the nation, from insecurity to poverty and so on, which have exacerbated under your party's watch, shouldn't we be telling the citizens that we are sorry? I mean, shouldn't you be telling the citizens that we are sorry to have failed you and we cannot do it anymore? We are not capable of fixing it, and that you need to find someone more capable to do it?
Well, if my English is not failing me, you say sorry when you fail or you misperform, or you perform below expectation. But you don't say sorry when you win or you are winning, or when you did that which ought to earn you kudos. You don't say sorry in security if you've just recently arrested the most dreaded members of the terrorist group in the world, the Ansaru.
Okay.
Nigeria has just announced the arrest of the 2 most wanted terrorists, allies of Al-Qaeda,
Okay.
members of Ansaru, the people that have been terrorizing Africa, not just West Africa or Nigeria, have just been arrested. They are now in detention. Okay. And that is not the job you... It's more than big news.
Okay.
It's equivalent to the arrest or conquer of Osama bin Laden.
Okay, back in 2011.
Yes, when a country makes that announcement, when the country security agents make that arrest spectacularly, I think they deserve more than kudos.
Okay.
And you don't say sorry after such a feat.
Okay. And okay, describe to us in capital letters the effect or the impact of that arrest in the security of especially the Northeast.
You see, these ringleaders are the men behind the high-profile kidnappings, not just in Nigeria, but in Africa.
Okay.
Not just in West Africa, but in Africa. Mali, Burkina Faso, Niger, Ghana, name it. Okay. These are the ringleaders. These are the people that were behind the Kuje jailbreak. These are the people that were behind the Abuja-Kaduna train attack some years back.
Okay.
These are the people that were terrorizing the Kaduna-Abuja road, some part of Birnin Gwari, some part of Niger, name it. And these people have been captured in an operation that went silently, spectacularly, without any casualty. I think no country, no agency, no military will achieve that and come out to say sorry or be expected to say sorry.
Okay.
No way. In fact, we should be beating our chest.
Okay, that's fantastic. And did you have any help? Did your government have any help from, let's say, the Americans, the Brits, the French, or any other foreign powers?
You see, security issues are not things you discuss openly in the studio, especially the strategy that was put in place to arrive at that success. You don't discuss that. Okay. But security globally is something that is collaborative. No country does it solo. No one does it alone. You have to do it with partners. So that is why it is always encouraged or advised that every country must participate in a multinational security arrangement so that you can nip the issue in the bud. Okay. You cannot just stand alone and say you are the one that will provide security for your region or your country. Nobody is safe until everybody is safe.
That's a very good phrase.
Yes.
But okay, while talking about this massive achievement of capturing the terrorist leaders, a few days ago, another heinous attack happened in Malimpashi, in which over 50 people were killed in a mosque, and that some people would say looks like a terrorist attack. What would you say about this?
It's a sign or the symptoms of failure, desperation, loss of hope of the terrorists. Okay. You see, when terrorists are strong, they operate spectacularly in a way and manner that they hit at the security agents. They take the war to the security agents. They attack barracks, they attack force headquarters, they attack security offices because they are hard targets.
Okay.
That means they are strong.
Okay.
But when terrorists begin to attack mosques, begin to attack church, begin to attack studios, begin to attack market, then it means they are attacking soft targets because they are soft. They are weak. They don't have the capacity to face power. They don't have the capacity to face fire. So this attack on mosque is a shift from what obtains in the past, where the bombs were thrown at the barracks. The bombs were thrown at force headquarters. High security areas were the areas they were attacking. Now, because they have been pushed to the wall, in fact, they are now breathing their last. That is why they move to mosque, where nobody goes with even a knife. People go there only with their faith. So it shows that they are beginning to die, and they will die very soon.
So what should we expect from the federal government?
More of this type of operations. They will continue to chase them. It means the war is being taken to them in their hideouts. And they are running. In the struggle to run away, if they come across people that are praying, they pounce on them, kill them, and they run. But they will not run forever. They will be gotten.
I'm not talking about the strategy, the operations. I'm talking about the people that have lost their lives and those that have lost their loved ones. I read, according to Daily Trust, that a family of 15 people was wiped out completely. And one woman was interviewed, and she said she lost everyone. She's now the only person left in her house. More people have been kidnapped, and a unknown number of people were kidnapped during that operation. Now, what should we expect to those people from the federal government?
Compassion. Certainly compassion of the highest order. You see, this is a government that is compassionate. This is a government that has the feeling of the people at heart. This is a government that has come to renew the hope of the people. And they are doing so in a way and manner that will ginger the people to have more confidence. And any government that is determined to do that will certainly feel the pain of the people in a situation like this. Right? So you should expect that the government will do the needful. And I'm sure things are put in place to take succor to the victims, to take succor to those left behind, and to see to it that justice is done in a way and manner that does not permit a repeat of this kind of ugly incidents.
I wish one day we would have let's say the CDS, the Chief of Defense Staff, here on the panel. I would ask him more serious questions about the kind of operations that their personnel are having. Because in that Malumfashi attack, people reported that there are no security agents in those places. In villages, they are left on their own, and that's why they become soft target. And maybe this is something that should be addressed by those people in charge of the security of the nation. Sure.
You see, I'm not a security operative.
And that's why I'm not putting the question to you.
From my experience, I had a stint as the spokesperson of the Inspector General of Police of Nigeria. So I know, or I have an idea of how they work. You see, in a country where you have over 250 million people, you cannot have security men everywhere, every time. You cannot. So you classify, you categorize according to need. Where there is high risk, you make deployment to that place. Where there is less risk or danger, you don't make high-profile deployment. So because, for instance, we don't have, as of now, the last time I checked, Nigeria does not have up to 400,000 policemen to police the country.
And that's a problem.
Okay, but the government is doing
fixed by the government.
Yeah, the government is doing everything by way of recruiting more. And that is why you see the Inspector General of Police is prioritizing community policing. Now, new recruits are deployed to their native local governments or villages or states because they will help in intelligence. They know the people better. So because you don't have enough police or security manpower, you cannot make provision for every church, for every mosque, for every market or soft spot.
But then okay, it's complicated, it's complex, but the government, okay, your government should admit failure, that it has failed to provide security personnel to those places. I mean, yeah, it's complicated.
I think Umar,
because you just
this government should be given kudos.
Okay.
You see, from the time APC came to power in 2015 to date, there has been massive recruitment into the police.
Okay.
On yearly basis, 10,000. The directive from the president was for the recruitment of 10,000 policemen every year. Okay. Every year.
Yeah.
If you know the statistics, some 15, 16 years back, when PDP was in power, it was hopeless. It was terrible. In fact, you wouldn't want to sleep in Nigeria. That was why in those days, bombs were going up everywhere in Abuja. Okay. Every town was being bombed. But today, the situation has been reversed. Now we have better security everywhere. Yes, we don't have 100% protection. And there is nowhere in the world where you have zero crime. Nowhere. There is nowhere where you have zero crime. There isn't that. In theory, yes, imaginary. But not in reality. The situation is getting better every day under APC.
And we should have hope.
Hope.
That's
hope on hope.
That's your
mantra. And we are going to renew that hope.
Okay, one final thing in terms of security, and then we move on to the last item of on the agenda. Still in Borno State, farmers are being taxed, are being asked by terrorists to pay tax. And there is massive deployment of military in Borno State. Somebody told one of our producers that there are places that the soldiers cannot go up to now in Borno.
Like I said, there is no place in the world where you have zero security challenge. There is none. But the question is, you make comparison and see whether the situation is improving or deteriorating. And I can tell you authoritatively the situation is improving. Now you are talking about areas where farmers are being tasked before they go to farm.
Yeah.
Time was when farmers were not allowed to go to the farm at all. Now they are allowed to go to the farm even if they are taxed. Now the question is,
to pay tax to the terrorists.
Question is, who is that terrorist and how does he operate? Does he operate with reckless abandon as he used to before, or he operates cowardly? Once in a while, he puts in an appearance, harass whoever he meets on the road, collect whatever he can collect, and run away into the bush. Or he does so with brigandage. I can tell you they don't do it with that brigandage because they are being decimated every day. Now they don't have the capacity for that spectacular operation they used to have.
Okay. Before, during Shekau's regime or reign.
Shekau is now history.
Yeah, I said before they used to do that during
Yes,
Shekau.
but
now you're saying they don't do that.
Because they are being decimated every day, they are weakened.
Okay, still on Borno before we go. VP, Vice President Kashim Shettima is from Borno State. But the people are saying, well, it's like he's not there. He isn't there because the president seems to have sidelined him.
You see, the position of a vice president is a position that is supposed to be a subordinate responsibility.
Okay.
You act only according to the assignment given to you. And in almost all cases, you act in the absence of the president. It is the president that will assign. And when the president is assigning this responsibility to his vice, he does not need to go to Wise Market and make announcement.
Okay.
So why are people saying they are not seeing the vice president everywhere presiding over the country. You cannot have a duplication of responsibility.
Okay.
If the president is there, the prominence of the vice president should be downplayed. That is not to say he is not carrying out some duties silently.
Okay.
He does not have to be competing for space with the president.
Okay.
I can tell you, the vice president have not had him come out to complain that he's being sidelined, sorry.
How can you do that?
Sorry?
How could you complain?
Why can't he complain if he's being sidelined?
If you complain,
If he is sidelined, definitely he will complain. But
And-
if he is not sidelined, people cannot push him to admit that he is being sidelined. And that is what some Nigerians want to hear.
Okay.
Why should one complain when he has no cause to complain? And I tell you, the vice president is not complaining because he has not told us that he's being sidelined.
Okay. Finally, hunger and poverty, they're on the rise in Nigeria. According to the World Food Programme, it warned in July that the IDPs displaced by Boko Haram risk starvation because aid was running out. What moral right does APC have to ask these people for votes come 2027, while the government of APC has failed to feed them? They were reliant on food donated by an international organization.
Well, I challenge you,
Okay.
and I want you to take this thing seriously under the mandate of investigative journalism.
Okay.
Go to the market and find out what is the price of foodstuff in Nigeria today. Is it going up or going down compared to what obtains as of the time this report was compiled? And I can tell you, the prices of foodstuff, grains, and other essential food items are going down by the day. Prices are going down. Check the prices and next time invite me here and challenge me to that. Yesterday, I did that investigation and I found that prices of foodstuff are going down, and that is enough reason to give kudos to the agricultural revolutionary programs of the APC.
All is well.
Well, we wouldn't say all is excellent, but I can tell you all is not well.
Finally, why should Nigerians trust the APC come 2027?
Because the APC is fulfilling those promises it promised. The APC is doing everything to signpost the road to El Dorado. The APC is doing everything to reinvigorate the hope of the young. The APC is doing everything to see to it that education is not a luxury in Nigeria, but a right. The APC is doing everything to see to it that the dream of Nigerians into going to Uhuru is fulfilled.
Okay.
And that dream is being fulfilled via the renewed hope agenda of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. And if given the chance, come 2027 with what has been done so far, heaven is just a stone's throw from Nigeria.
We reached out to some people on social media and to assess your government, and most of what they have said are negative stuff. So the approval rating, we just put it on social media. It was not selective.
You see,
the approval rating of your government is going down.
You see, when you are doing a survey, it depends on the platform. It depends on the people. And it also depends on the person that is compiling and collecting the materials.
Okay.
I can tell you, if you are to submit these questionnaires on another platform, I'm not saying everybody will give us thumbs up, but I can tell you the greater percentage of the reasonable, because in everything you do, you must check the position of the person making the assessment. Is he reasonable or unreasonable? If you are gauging your outcome based on the reasoning of the unreasonable, you'll get it wrong.
Okay.
But if you are judging it based on the reasoning of the reasonable, it's going to be in favor of the APC.
Well, Mal Bala Ibrahim, thank you so much. It's a huge honor and pleasure to be able to talk to you on this.
It is my pleasure being with you, Umar.
Okay.
Hot as the seats, tough as the questions, but all the same, I like the engagement, I like the challenge, and I'm happy. Particularly my visit to the studio, I'm impressed. Honestly, this has given me additional, in fact, I'm going to talk about it later.
Okay.
Is because of the provision of conducive atmosphere for the practice of journalism by the APC regime that this edifice is coming into work. I'm really happy. I'm really happy, honestly. And I hope you will continue to do this job.
Yeah.
I never know that we have gotten to this level.
Mashallah.
I'm really impressed.
Alhamdulillah.
Congratulations.
Thank you so much indeed, sir. It's a pleasure having
It's
you
my
on
pleasure
the show.
too.
Even
Yes.
though you seem to have taken or attributed the credit of what you are doing to the space that your government has given.
Yeah.
This is democracy. No, it doesn't have anything to do with it.
No, it has. It has.
Okay.
It has. The provision of business atmosphere, conducive atmosphere to do business. Yeah. The condition of the freedom to practice journalism. Yeah. The provision of the infrastructure that backs what you are doing is in its time was when you cannot do this because of the cost of diesel, because you have to power the studio via generator. Now I'm not sure your is generator powered. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Mal Bala Ibrahim. Well, tonight we have heard the ruling party's defense against some serious allegations from authoritarian tendencies to worsening poverty and insecurity. But beyond the answers, the reality is that Nigerians themselves will doubtlessly decide if the APC deserves another chance in 2027. Please, if you have found this conversation important, do us a favor, subscribe to our YouTube channel at PAPShow NG, share this episode, and join the discussion in the comment section. Your voice matters, and together we can shape Nigeria, the Nigeria that we want. This is the PAPShow, and I am Umar Isa Dandago. Good night.